Hey guys, what I got here today is the Salinas Design Concept transmission, and this one is the Mullet. It is a 3-gear transmission, so basically it has I think 30% overdrive. It was designed for the straight axle front and the portal rear axles, but for this one my friend will be using it on an SCX-102 D1RC SCX-102 front and rear straight axles. So this one is the mirrored Mullet transmission. So if you're using the front straight axles and the rear portals, it should be mounted this way, and I think the motor is also this direction, but for the skid it should be mounted like this, so the transmission will be straight instead of in an angle mounted. So for this one it will be the spur gear will be facing to the front and the motor to the back. So for the front shaft it will be mounted to this one, and the rear one is mounted to the middle shaft right here. So as you can see that the front shaft and the rear shaft is spinning in other directions, so meaning that the SCX-102 straight axles from D1RC also comes with gears that are spinning in different directions. So a gearbox, let's say if you want to have or purchase a transmission that has overdrive and also that the shafts are spinning in different directions, you can consider getting the Salinas Design Concept transmission that is called the Mullet. For normal overdrive transmissions, it should have 4 gears inside with 4 shafts total. So you will have a normal shaft spinning directions. For this one will be special for special builds. So as you can see, I've mounted, I've assembled one already, and I'll be showing you guys how to assemble the Mullet transmission. Okay guys, so we have here that I've already taken out everything from the package. So we have the middle piece right here, the skid plate, and also one of the pieces that is mounted onto this plate right here and then mounted to this hole right here. And there's 2 holes here that are aligned to these ones on the skid plate, and we have 3 shafts and 3 Robinson Racing pinion gears that are in 48 pitch and different tooth counts, and some bearings, shims, screws and nuts, the spur gear and the spur gear holder, and some of the bearings and pinion gear, and I believe this one is the grease and the thread lock. So I won't be using this, and I'll be keeping that. I'll be using the Vanquish grease and also some Horizon Hobby thread lock that was included in some Excel kits. So let's get started. First I'm gonna remove the labels here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount the pinion gears onto the shaft first, and as you can see that these holes are pre-drilled to align the set screw for the pinion. Apply some thread lock. And there are two shafts that are actually the same, but make sure that for the bigger pinion, that is the 39 tooth count, that one, the shaft you'll have to mount. Oh no, whoops. Oh no. Luckily, so for the 39 tooth pinion, it should be mounted this way. Okay, take note. I hope that's not too much thread lock. And the last one is the 29 tooth. For this one, it should be mounted this way, that the pinion sits more to the middle. As you can see, I'll show you the difference. Okay, and the next part is I'm gonna put the bearings onto the aluminum plate. Let me get this out. Make sure that your bearings sit perfectly flat and tight, because you don't want the bearings to move freely. And for this one is, yeah, okay. To be honest, this is the first time that I mounted this transmission, so I think I did mess up because I took my time slowly to build this one. So I'm just gonna show you guys how I mount the transmission. Okay, that's in there tight. So I believe the bearings that are tapped should be on the inside, so it won't come out. And also this one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert the screws here first. Oh wait, before that I'm gonna put this washer or shim onto the screw here. Okay. And this 3D printed part right here, oops, slides in here. Okay. Okay, next is I'm gonna mount the gears and shaft into the transmission. So I'm not sure about you guys, but for that one right there, I use one piece of shim that is facing towards the spur. I'm using one piece only, and facing to the rear I'm using two pieces of shim. And for the rest, and this one, okay, for this one it should be the short part is facing to the front, okay, because this one is supposed to be for the rear drive shafts. Okay, and this one, yeah, for this this part right here is facing to the rear, so the gears should slide inside like this. I'll show you guys later. I'm gonna put the shim onto the shaft first. Okay, so I'm gonna put some bearing oil onto the bearings. Okay, so I'm gonna slide this one in first, followed by this one. Oh yeah, I should be sliding that top piece first. Yeah, that will do actually. So that's it. So I'm gonna apply some grease onto the gears. I'm just gonna apply all over the area because I don't want to waste some of the grease. Okay, make sure everything spins smoothly. Okay, after that we're gonna insert this piece right here into the front part. Make sure the shim is still there. Okay, and that's it. And of course, before putting on the lock nut, make sure you put another washer or shim onto the screws. Yeah, sorry about the noise, that's my fan and it's old already. I hope it doesn't drop onto me. Okay. Make sure that it's just tight enough because it already has a lock nut, so you don't have to screw it too tight because you don't want to over tighten it and break the 3D printed casing. Okay, to the next step is I'm gonna mount the spur gear. And for this one, the Spur Gear, how do you call it, the Spur Gear holder, it is not threaded, so it's secured with a bolt and nut. Just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna insert this one into here. Make sure that you align the tabs here to the shaft over here. Okay. At first I tried the two bearings and then it doesn't sit into the spur. So what I did was, because it's very long over here, so I put the bigger bearing in first, and then I put a shim in the middle, and then a bearing, another bearing, and then another shim. So just put on the nut here. I think this is not necessary. It depends on anyone who how do you install it, but because of the extra bearing and then the extra length on the shaft, so I'm just gonna put the two bearings on it. It doesn't affects it anyway, and it still spins smoothly. Okay, so the next one is, okay, I'm just gonna grab a nut. And there's place for you to insert the lock nut in here. Whoops, drop that. Okay, fitment is a little bit tight, so you have to really get it in there. Okay, and this one goes right over here. And after that, I'm gonna mount it onto the skid plate here. So the skid plate here is threaded, and then it doesn't have countersunk screw tabs over here, so I'm just gonna use a button head screw. It's actually not included, so I just got it from my extra screw box. So I'm gonna mount these holes first. Make sure you align them properly. And do not over tighten it, because you might maybe break the 3D print, but I don't think it will break that easily because it's very thick. But still, I'm not gonna over tighten it. So there you have it. The extra long screws right here are for the links that are mounted here, so I don't need to do that for you guys. So there you have it, the Salinas Design Concept transmission. So I hope you guys find this video useful for those who want to install the transmission, because it doesn't comes with instruction manual, but actually it's very easy to install. So if you guys like the video, or you guys have anything that you want to let me know, just comment down below. And if you guys like the video and you think it's helpful, make sure you hit the like button and share my video to your friends and subscribe to my channel.